Hey there. Hey, happy Tuesday. And wow, what a beautiful day to be alive. I am back in the Blue Ridge Mountains in Orinotown Studios, Mobile Unit 1. And I came up here on the top of the hill to park to get a good signal. And as it appears, I was pulling into the shade, and my car is hung up on a stump. A shallow one, a low one. I didn't even see it. It was just that shallow, and the grass was a little high. And so, yeah, so I'm parked and locked. And I have the privilege today of bringing in one of my dear friends. Yeah, I love this brother. He's a brother from another mother, Anthony A.K. King. And he is the founder and the producer behind the WATER OF LIFE Symposium, which is really a cool thing. And we're going to be there again in September in Vegas. We're going to talk about that. And last year, the first year, was awesome. Really awesome. I met so many beautiful people. Really beautiful people. Now, one thing I've learned about all the beer drinkers, mostly they're oddballs, weirdos. You know, they've already been kind of, I don't know, alienated from family, friends, work, and this, that, and the other if they come out. But, I don't know, I came out right from the get-go because, I don't know, there was some freedom in that. I've always been weird. This is nothing new. I've always been labeled. So I don't trip on any of that. So I do have Anthony A.K. King in the invite, and we did talk. Ooh, and there he is. Let's see. So far, so good. There you are, my brother. Good day to you.
Greetings, young man.
How you feeling?
I am well.
I bet you are.
I see you
It's
trying
a
to.
beautiful day to be alive.
I see you trying to look like
What's
me.
that?
I see you trying to look like me.
Yeah. I know. I mean, somehow we've become like these, bookends, stunt double twins.
Yeah.
I don't know how that worked. I was just having too many bad hair days in a row.
I remember those
I
days.
needed a change.
I remember
I
those
just
days.
needed a change.
Yeah. It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah. Good to see you as well, always.
Yeah.
So, man, I've waited patiently to have you as my guest, and I appreciate you coming on with me, brother. You know, I value our friendship, and there's so much important shit that just needs to be done or said, but it's not a big issue thing, and that's what I love about you. You're really laid back about it all. Yeah, you have a real great demeanor, and I appreciate that, bro, big time.
Time.
You're the shit to me.
Well, thank you, brother. And I feel the same way about you. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you are willing to be vulnerable, which is something that we, especially men, could get better at. And as leaders, when we consider ourselves leaders or examples, we got to get better. And we should be the first to bear fruit of what it is that we are selling to other people. And believe it or not, people do watch. And not everybody's going to say something. But if you have something of value that makes someone's life better, and they're interested, then they're going to gravitate towards what it is that you're feeding. So we want to make sure, at least I do, want to make sure that what we put on our plate is going to be worth eating. You see? That's where I come from.
Yes, well,
That's where I come from. That's who
and
I
I
am.
love that part.
That's what my mother,
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
yeah, my mom would expect that from me.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. We've had a conversation about how our mothers were really valuable
Yeah.
and powerful influences in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of lessons there. Great mentors. I love the peace you bring, my friend.
My mother. My mother.
What right off the just what would be the most important lesson she gave you, if you can? I mean, I'm sure there's so many.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now.
Right on.
You dig? Walking.
Yeah, I do.
In greatness. Dare to be great. Don't be common.
Yes.
Don't be common. You know, we got enough commonality crap. Be great. Walk alone. Listen. Be quiet. Be still. Don't believe, know. When you know, you don't need belief anymore. I don't believe my name is Anthony King. I think most people believe in God because they don't know God. You know, I pee in a cup and I drink it. I drink of myself. The common man says, ugh. I respect his commonality, just like I respect the conditioner that imposed such commonality. But greatness, cream rises to the top, baby. And that's who I am in my own story. I drink of me and I can hear beyond anything common. I walk amongst the ancestors around this thing called the clock. The time
Well,
game.
we're drinking our ancestors, bro,
Every day.
right? I mean,
Every day.
we're literally drinking our ancestors.
Yeah. The true baptism.
Mm-hmm.
Real life.
Of the real water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I met a man that lives here where I live. He had a ace bandage on his shoulder, and I asked him what happened. And he studies Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I said, well, then I know you drink of yourself. And he said, what do you mean? I said, I know you drink that water that you make called urine, or URN, or P. On the streets, we call it piss. You know what I'm talking about. And he said,
let's cut to the quick.
and he said, does it really work? He said, I think I heard about that. Does it really work? And I said to him, pee in a cup and drink it. And you tell me. Then he said, well, my mother does that. I said, then you know what I'm talking about. Why are you sitting here acting like you don't know what I'm talking about? He said,
oh, that's hilarious.
He said, no, I'm just being humble. I said, no, in my world, that's called lying.
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
So he said, I have heard about that, and I'm going to do it. I said, look at me, man. I know we just met, but I wouldn't have told you that if I didn't know you by the Spirit already. There are no coincidences in my life. And wherever I am, that's where I'm sent to be. And if I talk to you, it's given to me to talk to you. So I said, I'm looking at you, and I'm going to make you a promise, kid. It's the greatest gift you will ever give to yourself. I gave him my phone number, and he sent me a text. He said, I've started my new regime. I said,
Awesome.
that's the difference between your brown belt and your black belt.
There you go.
You.
Yeah.
You. You got to add you to the game of your own life. Not chase life. Be life. Not seek life. Unveil life. I respect the conditioner, man. The government that has conditioned us all and watered us all down and given us poison and called it food and given us chemtrails and called them clouds and poisoning this water and dropping it out the sky and calling it rain, just to keep you from knowing the one thing that would scare the hell out of those that would rule over you. That you would recognize yourself in the story and know that there is no thing to seek. You are the value in the story. And when you wake up to yourself, man, you can be still and know that you are all things, that anything that would require you having doesn't need to be sought. The universe is mindful of you. And you have everything that you need, to the degree that need becomes obsolete. Wanting becomes a thing of the past. The idea of fulfilling something is only a funny story, because at all times you are unveiling light in real time. You dig? The brother then sent me another text and said, I'm on your website. What is this convention?
Now you're pixelating a little bit, and I don't know if it's my signal, your signal, or our signal. I don't know. But just so you know, what you just said for my listening pixelated a bunch, where it was really not even something I could understand what you just said.
Well, I
So
don't know. Ask your folks, because on my end, you look great. I can hear you great. Nothing's pixelating on my end. Everything is just beautiful. You're back.
groovy. Yeah, well, I'm on a 3G with some bars, sitting up here. I actually landed on a stump.
Okay.
And it's a low stump, but my car is low. It's a sports car, right?
Yeah.
And so I was looking around and I thought, well, I might as well sit in the shade. And so I backed up and I pulled down here, and all of a sudden it went kunk. So I'm kind of parked and locked for the moment.
Hey, man. Everybody seems to, Brother Glenn, Brother Jeremy. I see Sister Roz on here. All the folks said
Yeah, man.
everything
Peeps
sounds
are in the
good.
house.
They say it sounds good on their end. So we're rocking and rolling.
Right on, bro. Yeah, it feels good to be with you today.
Man.
One of my favorite things that I've experienced with you in the time of our relationship is walking and talking. I'd be out walking and you'd be doing whatever but we'd have this like conversation while I was like walking in the park and shit.
Yeah.
And I always favored that. I really enjoyed those conversations. They were really special.
Well,
Every conversation with me is special, bro.
well,
I appreciate them.
I appreciate them. I've watched you be born again. So I've seen you since your childhood. I watch you evolve from the caterpillar state to the butterfly. I watch you eat your way out of the cocoon. And not only fly, but float. I watch you stumble, you know, do those hard things. You know, that's tough to do.
Well,
I've
well,
watched.
the thing that I've grown to
Well, hold
the
on, hold
one of the
on,
things
hold
I've
on,
grown to
hold on, brother,
appreciate.
hold on,
Okay,
hold on.
okay, all right. My apology.
You know, puff, puff, pass. Hold on. I'm telling you, I'm telling you about you and how I see you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You know, watch you leave Washington, really not knowing where to go, but said, I'm going to start with the water of life, head to the symposium. You told me, quote, for those that's listening, this is what this beautiful man told me. I don't know where I'm headed, but I'm going to start with the symposium. I remember. And these were our first dialogues, our first communions before we ever sat in a room together. I watched you come to the symposium and just get on the road from there, a life that I can only admire. And the reason I admire it so much is because I don't see myself being able to do that. I'm sure I could do whatever's given to me, but that has not been given to me as of yet. You are the epitome of travel light. You are the epitome of trust your life. You know, I've seen you deal with heartache, you know, um, self-doubt. And in all cases, you get up and you keep it pushing. I watch your computer crash. I watch you have to turn around and go back to another state just to get your computers because you had a thought in mind of what you wanted to do. And it all had to do with giving life to the world. And telling them, hey man, that water you guys make, it's not a waste product. It's a production.
It's all that, and
You,
it's
you're. I'm honored to call you my brother, and I look forward to seeing you in September. Can't wait to get my arms around you.
yeah. My feelings mutually, absolutely, always.
Yeah.
I just so love you, brother. I mean, yeah. Let you know. This is how friendships initiate. Now, I went to register for the Water of Life Symposium. This is how this all went down. And this was a beautiful moment, and I'll always remember it with love.
Mm-hmm.
And so I set it up, and I went in there and attempted to book the room and register, and I was having my technical difficulties. So I actually called in and I talked to Adria,
Uh-huh.
and she escorted me and she set me up. And got me, like, my registration, all these things going on. But then the room registration didn't give me the proper codes or whatever. It wasn't showing up. So I messaged back and I said, I don't know, the room isn't showing up correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of getting a text or a call back, I got a call back from you, brother. I got a call from you. And that was our introduction. You introduced yourself, and we started our little dance.
Yeah.
And it's been a really pleasurable dance from the get-go.
Yeah. I think
As
our
far as
first
I mean,
talk
I
was
dig it.
about 2 hours. We talked for about 2 hours that
Yes,
day.
it was. Yes, it
Yeah.
was. There was a lot of soul food on that table.
Yes, sir.
It was a pretty good banquet. Yes, it was. So let's talk about the symposium. I want to reiterate as a alumni how special it was to me. Of the there was a wonderful, amazing group of people that attended the first year in Sacramento. Amazing group of people. And I have so many of them that I call my friends. As a matter of fact, you probably don't even realize this, but you remember Matthew Clark.
Absolutely. Brother Matt.
Okay, well, Matthew's going to be my guest next week.
Okay.
Now, Matthew had a lot of trouble coming out of the closet, but he approached me weeks ago and he said, I'm ready to fucking come out big. I said, well, good, man, get a handle and let's go.
Yeah.
Let's roll with it. He said, can I be a guest on your show? I said, are you sure you're ready for all of that? He said, yeah, I'm ready. I said, well, let's fucking go then, bro.
Yeah.
Let's rock the mic. So yeah, next week, Matthew Clark. But he may come up with a new handle. I recommended it to him. Something snazzy, a little jazzy, just to, get the soul of his messaging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah. So, I have all appreciation. All the friends I've met, Danielle, Cindy, Matthew, Ollie, Tony, it just, Dan, it just goes on and on.
Yeah.
That crew is huge.
Yes, it is.
It's a huge crew.
It is.
And I'm honored to be a part of that.
Oh, man.
That alumni. And I do consider it an alumni. That was an initiation that was off the hook, bro. You figured that out real cool.
Well, again, it's something that happened to me. And for those that are listening that wonder how the symposium came about, Sister Casey Weir, dear sister of ours, she had been on a fast. She didn't tell anybody. She didn't tell me. And when I fast, I don't talk about it. I read a lot. I think fasting is a great subject. It's just that when I do it, it's not something I talk about. It's not something I think we need to talk about. I think that that's the space where it's between you and the spirit of you. When and again, no disrespect to those that share when they're fasting and talk about it. But I would say that's your reward, because nobody's going to fast the same. I don't fast the same. Where I fast this time may not be like the fast the next time. It's a relationship with yourself. Sister Casey was on a fast, and she called me one day. This is over 5 years ago. And she said, I want to talk to you about this scripture, because those that know me know I'm a big Bible fan, King James Version. It doesn't mean that it's true. It doesn't mean it's better than, it's just I'm a fan of the book. Have been since I was a kid. She came to me with this scripture. She said, I just know that you're the only one in the world that I want to talk to about this scripture. And she pulled it up, and it was in Psalms. It says, drink waters from thine own cistern. My reaction was, I'm supposed to be drinking this. Give me a cup. I didn't ask her if that's what it meant. This is what happened to me when I'd read this forever. But this particular time when this sister brought me this scripture, I read it, drink waters from thine own cistern, and I knew. I said, I'm supposed to be drinking this. Give me a cup. And she got me a cup, and I put my water in it. I drank it, and I knew I was home. I knew it. No belief. I started sending texts out to everybody I knew. I just started sending texts to everybody with me in a video, peeing in a cup, drinking it. It haven't hit me like, do you know these people are going to think you lost your mind? And that, listen, man, and I'm a pretty popular dude. I can sing a little bit, and I've done some things in my life that make me pretty popular. But that day, I became the most unpopular dude in my own store. My phone stopped ringing. The message was out
Your
on
your
me.
your
Go ahead.
your dance card went from full
Oh,
to null and void.
oh, hey man, hey, my song came right off the Billboard charts from number one with a bullet to the less than 100, man. And you know, I knew though. And regarding the symposium, Sister Casey and Brother Timothy Wells and I were sitting together one day, and they were on the couch, and I was sitting on my bed. I was laying on my bed, actually. And I sat up and I said, "Symposium. What the hell is a symposium?" I said, "Look the word up." This was real time. This is how the spirit of our ancestors is. It's way beyond church, homeboy. And Sister Casey looked up the word symposium in Wikipedia, and it said drinking party. And I said, we got to do that. We got to have a drinking party. Now, mind you, I don't have any references of what that's like because I've never done it before. And immediately, Sister Courtney and Sister Diane Rader, who will be at the symposium, they are the ones that came with Brother Jason, the one that peed on his foot and his athlete's foot went away.
Yeah. No, I know them.
Yeah, so we just started talking about it, and I started building a website, and I could feel in my spirit the creative gene in me that's always been. But the difference was the spirit of it all would not let me contrive how this thing is to go. So you're talking about being vulnerable. I too was vulnerable when it came to the symposium, and allowing my spirit to lead me, and then here interacting with these people from different parts of the world that I've never met, you being included. Yet there was a part of conversation that we didn't engage in because we were communicating versus conversating, which proved to be the difference in the relationships that we have. And as you know, by being at the symposium, the relationships that we engaged in are eternal. Sister Roz,
Yes.
we are our life. We are more than friends.
Yes.
We are family. And as this game continues to increase, as the taskmasters continue to calcify and govern over the mortal-minded man, we continue to evolve with bonds that are beyond our own thought, that's going to carry us through until we are no longer in these meat suits anymore. You know, and that includes now Brother Doc Precise, you guys know him as Brian, Sister Teresa, I believe they'll be there. You know, and once we touch, you know it's forever, because that's what it's been.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that have told me, yeah, they intend to be there, you know, so I just sold that all in the highest good. You know, and this is the thing I've learned in my life, and I know you trust it too, is that, you know, you can't get too goofy about your plans.
Oh,
You
for
know, you
sure.
have to be in the moment and trust it and adjust to it and allow it. And it does appear,
Yeah.
you know, if you're patient enough, everything appears accordingly, accurately, and you don't have to get all goofy about it.
Right.
You go, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
water surpasses all understanding. We've been taught to think from here. So we think that when we plan, that we're putting our lives together, making us go from less valuable to more valuable. In this game
Right.
of trying to improve our lives. The water is memory water, and it's already connected to everything that we forgot or got before we came here. we're only remembering or connecting again to the fullness that formed us through this water. And that's the greatest part about the game. It shows you. So you don't get to think it. It'll show you that what you think is so small. And then it'll awaken you to something so much greater. And that's why I say it's really not about all the things we say on these social websites. And I applaud that. I applaud, the fact that we come together and connect as best we can when we can't all be in the same place. But the water is so much more than our educated ideas, our hypotheses, our big words, the names for these organs, what we eat, and all of that. The water knows.
Indeed.
The water knows best. Because I found myself in some places that I said, why am I here? Well, the water knows. We're not our own anymore.
Yeah.
We're not our own. We are vessels that have yielded to our highest self and allow ourselves beyond thought to ride the wave given to us. And I think that we are doing it well. And I think that contrast, not conflict, is a necessary part of who we are, because those are the things that solidify our bonds. Because as close as you and I are, that we're close because we have had some heart-to-heart, man-to-man talks in some places that are challenging, not only to you, but to me. And we said, we'll see after this talk if we're the brothers we say we are. And sure enough, just like the waves in the water, we just keep on moving. And,
Yeah.
And
I love that about us.
Yeah.
We don't even talk, we don't need to talk. We don't talk that often. I mean, I know, both of us have, when we feel it, it happens.
Yeah.
And I love that part. It's just, hey, time to connect.
Yeah. And I think that
I always feel you, man. You're always in my heart. You're always in my heart.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
And so I like that part.
I think this symposium, you called it alumni, so I guess we are alumni of sorts. We did the
alum.
We did
the alum.
We did the
alumni.
We did the see, touch, and feel. We did that. And we're going to do a lot more of that. And I think also,
yes,
I also think that we're moving towards a place where we're more eye to eye, we're more face to face with each other, and so we can really commune. Are you okay?
Sorry about that. I dropped my phone.
Well,
my hand was getting tired holding it.
Look, we know.
So I've been setting it up. I'm setting it up my steering wheel. My studio assistant.
Hey, we know you dropped your phone, but it looked like you fell.
Yeah, you as a producer understand. I mean, I'm a one-man fucking circus. I mean, I do everything. And, to produce a show and be the online personality and do all the other producing before, during, after, and all the way through, I mean, it's an extra set of, chips on the table, I suppose.
Yeah.
And, I roll with it. But, it's always nice to have a little crew behind you.
Yeah.
Helping you produce shit, right?
Yeah. Hey, so for those,
it's all good.
For those that are listening right now, I encourage you, pee in a cup and drink it. You don't have to wait. You don't have to tell nobody. That water you make is the greatest gift that you could offer yourself. I'm not telling you to drink mine. I'm telling you to drink yours. And until you do, You really don't know who you are. And if you don't believe me, ask anybody that drinks their water. Don't just ask me. And you know, if you're thinking about it and you really haven't got to the point where you can drink a whole cup, just pee in a cup or in a glass and look at it. Just look at it. And say some simple things to yourself like, I did make this. What is it? It's the first thing the doctors are going to ask you for when you go into those facilities called hospitals. And you notice they don't bring it back to you, but they'll prescribe you a replacement for yourself so that you constantly need them. And for those of you that have televisions that have seen commercials, they will tell you about these medications they want you to ask your doctor about. And when you hear the side effects, you'd have to wonder, who would do this deal? One thing they won't tell you about is that water you make. Well, I'm going to tell you. Brother Casey's going to tell you. It's the greatest gift. In the Bible, it says we have treasures hidden in earthen vessels. It says, he that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. You're more than welcome to come to the symposium. I can only tell you from experience, it is the greatest group of people. It is the greatest vibration that I've ever known. As many places as I've been around this world, as many people as I've met, never before have I felt something so wateroflifesymposium.com. Register. Come. Drink up.
Changed my life forever, brother. I mean, it did. You know, I was still up there on the canal all alone. You know, I mean, I was telling everybody about pee, and I mean everybody, you know that.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't fucking matter who to me. I'd tell them about pee.
Yeah.
And I was way flying solo up there. Now, I didn't know anybody that was going to go along with it. They'd accept me and they'd appreciate the knowledge, but they weren't going to drink their pee.
Well,
so the symposium was like everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I got to initiate in Reno and get to see, you know, Angeline and Rodney and Wiley, and that was wonderful. So I got to pre-meet some people, you know, in the process. And that was cool. Yeah, that was way cool. It was a great way to start my journey.
Hey, and
really was.
And if you really, you probably already hip to this. I drink my tears too.
Oh, there's a good tasting thing right there.
When I tell you that's the water,
salt of the earth.
That's the water from the top of the mountain, man. That's that.
Yeah, there you go.
The good stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
You dig.
Taste.
Yeah. Old taste.
Well, I've been sharing some epiphanies. You know, I kind of threw a bunch of shit on the table on Cartoons Saturday.
Yeah.
About some of my processes and procedures. But I am basking in it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the bottom line. I mean, in my fresh, in my age, you know, in my looping, in sit soaks. I mean, it just doesn't matter. I mean, it's just like I've taken it to. Here's what happened for me, bro. It really was an epiphany. Because before I do the body rubs, you know, I had my age urine, I'd do the body rubs, and it's like, well, this is good for me, and I should do this, and okay, you know, get it done, and like that. But over the last couple of weeks, it has just shifted to where it has now become like basking.
Yeah.
I'm basking in it. and sitting there in the country estate, you know, in the awakened state, you know, I mean, it was just beautiful, bro. I was walking around in the morning before the sun was even up, and I was getting like a distilled water bath on my feet from the dew, you know, with my little water shoes, you know, walking 30 acres of land, having it just keep brushing my feet with all this distilled natural water, dew water, you know, and I already sprayed my fresh pee. You know, I've been putting all this on me, and I mean, I'm like basking, sun gazing, sunbathing, doing the whole 9 yards. And I'm like, this is the dope, man.
Yeah, man.
This is the real deal.
Yeah.
This is the shit.
Dude, I got some that's years old. Now, I don't drink this. I use it on my skin because, and one day I was feeling like, you know, that feeling when you're about to get a cold and your nose gets, man, I put this jar up to my nose. This right here. This right here.
Look at all that Ormis. That's beautiful there, man. Look at that Ormis.
Dude.
Good shit.
When I tell you, I put this to my nose and did like this. And man, my whole face opened up.
Awesome.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is what I put on my skin.
It's the real deal.
Oh man, I put this on I wash my face with my fresh urine, and I top it off.
Yes.
I top it off with this. And
cologne.
Man, when I tell you, I'm in the game, man. Do you know? I need nothing, man.
Yeah. No, I'm down with it. It's amazing. It doesn't matter. One of the things that came up in a recent Oracle Live, and it was with Omad, you know, the 1 meal a day Orin looper from England. And, you know, because of labels, okay, all the labels, and I'm not big on labels. I'm not big on bannerism. I mean, all of that shit just weighs you down. You know, you just get too caught up in whatever that's supposed to represent, and it doesn't represent much to me anymore.
Yeah.
So he came up with a term I really liked. He said, basically at this point, I'm a flexitarian.
Hey.
And I said, I love that, man. Flexitarian. I can live with that concept.
Brother Casey.
Roll with that.
Brother Casey.
Yes, sir.
Sister, I believe it's Sister Pogi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Who I love dearly, who has one of the most wonderful vibrations.
Pogi Hatton.
She just asked a question.
Yeah.
She asked a question, what is Ormis?
Oh, the Ormis is the gold. It's the elixir. It's the what settles in the bottom, the sediment. And the longer you age it, the more it manifests. And that is Ormis. And it is, by definition, it has all the principal factors of our compounds. It is our total construct. So by utilizing that as a observable science to measure by, Rosalind proved this by sending her analytics to a lab she uses in Australia, but nonetheless, the gold, silver, you know, all the compounds, the magnesium, the proteins, I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and list everything your pee includes, but it includes a bunch. And it is a stem cell enzyme. So as it ages, it procures itself. It's a living organism, and it keeps procuring itself. It multiplies. It actually, in seismic form, like a tithing of 10 times. So the longer you let it sit, the more powerful it becomes, right, bro?
Hey, man.
I mean, this shit is the elixir.
Hey.
This is the real shit.
Bingo.
It's right there. Yeah, it's the real deal. Big time.
And
now I want to give a shout out to somebody, okay, bro?
Get on down.
I got a package in the mail today.
Okay.
And I was just, I mean, I was so moved. So moved. And this is from my brother Tim Rogers
Okay.
up there in Montana. Beautiful sculptor, beautiful human being, man. I love Tim. I love me some Tim. What a crusader. What a champion. He even got for the state of Montana, his license plate is SHIVAMBU.
Wow.
Okay? You know, he's in. Okay, so anyway, the brother sent me some love, you know, and I was just blown away. He sent me 2 orange long sleeve shirts. One of them is a solid print and one of is, you know, an outline print, but they both say SHIVAMBU. And they're orange
Oh, right
with
on.
black print.
Right on, baby.
You know, brother just said, right? And then a new set of rubber industrial gloves that are orange. The ones I have are green. He sent me orange gloves. And then he sent me a whole series of photographs. And he's quite a photographer. He's really a remarkable artist. I mean, a really incredible welder and sculptor and photographer. I mean, really world class,
Yeah.
real world class. And so he sent me all these images that he shot recently of like the full moon. And he has description on the back of all of them. So I want to publicly thank Joseph, Tim, Mr.
Right
Rogers.
on. Much love
I
to you,
love that
brother Tim.
hanging in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was way cool. Yeah, so yeah, the beauty of the P, bro, is it is the communion.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. I've been able to bond with more people virtually, actually, and physically, and on the phone and video chats and whatever than I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
Ever, 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 ever.
Yeah.
And I've been a stranger and a weirdo and a nomad and a gypsy and ran that circus forever. But now I finally found my weirdo tribe.
Yeah.
And I love that part.
Yeah. Shout
I
out.
got my peeps.
Shout out to all those that's listening right now. Brother Glenn, Sister Roz, Sister Denise, Sister Casey Weir.
Yeah.
You know, all those that's listening from different parts of the world, you know, just posting comments. I know I speak for Brother Casey when I say we love you all, appreciate you.
Yes, indeed.
Check out the Water of Life Symposium. Go to wateroflifesymposium.com. Register to come. It's in September 21st through the 23rd. We're going to be at the Westgate Hotel in Pavilion.
Resort.
Yeah.
Don't they call it the resort?
Yeah.
Westgate Resort.
It's on Paradise.
Yeah.
It's in Pavilion 4. The primary day, we have our meet and greet on Friday. Our primary day is all day Saturday. We have yoga with Brother Tony Hill in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. But more than that, the communion is the key. We drink our water together. And it's really, I'm really reaching for words to express the type of unity and vibration that we share. And you're all invited. Registration is only 30.
Even more than the event itself, Anthony, as we talked about even before. You know, you asked me early on in our early conversation what it means to me. You know, and I just said I think it's about meeting people. It's about love. It's about communion. It's about like really having, you know, the opportunity to meet other people that you know, are as crazy as I am.
Yeah.
And so that was a blessing. And the after parties, I mean, the things that, and it wasn't even like that. It just took on its own life.
Yeah.
It took on its own tribal affair.
Yeah.
It just was a movable feast. And it started early and stayed late. And that was a miracle. That was magical. It was marvelous.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And I know, I don't guess, and I don't assume, and I don't suspect. I know this year will be off the hook.
Man.
It'll be off the hook.
Man.
It's going to be crazy cool.
Man.
I know it.
So,
I'm down with it, man.
yeah,
I mean, I look so forward to it, bro. I mean, I really do. It's an event that's worthy in my mind, my eyes, my heart.
yeah. It's turned into something really special.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Did I tell you I love you today?
Yeah, here's the thing, bro. We are brothers from other mothers, and we're so in, I mean, we got that embrace, and that I love.
Yeah,
I mean, the first time I had the opportunity to embrace you in the hallway, it was all love, man.
yeah,
It was so deep, and I just knew it, and I went, wow, this is awesome. And I do love you, bro.
yeah.
I just love you so much.
Well, one thing about it,
It's an honor.
hey, you can't trick a piss drinker.
That's a true statement.
Piss drinker know your vibration, man.
As Bob Marley states so succinctly, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time.
Yeah.
Can't do that, so you better get real.
Greetings, Sister
Better get
Denise.
real with your shit.
Let's see, brother Brian Justice, brother Doc Precise.
Yeah, Denise is awesome. We're new friends. We've been communicating. And she's in the Phoenix area. I'll make this public now. She asked me earlier, and I told her Candy's there.
Oh, okay.
She's really new, and she's really awesome, and she's just looking for community, and she's in the Phoenix area.
Okay.
And she's on board right here, Denise.
Yeah.
So anybody who's out there, wants to connect, she's way cool.
Yeah.
Real good peeps.
Right on. Wonderful meeting you, Sister Denise. I hope to see you at the symposium. Greetings, Brother Brian. We love you, brother.
Yay, Brian.
Brother Brian speaking this year. I'm really proud of my little brother. I'm going to share some stories about, all of the speakers, including you, at the symposium, because you put a microphone in my hand and I'm kind of fun, so
Yeah. The one thing that I know you and I share in common, man, we have no fear of the mic.
Oh no. And I've watched I've over the year, even brother Brian, speaking of him, he didn't get a chance to come last year, but he'll be there this year, and I watched him grow. I've watched him grow into who he is now and continues to grow, as well as Sister Roz. We call her Dr. Roz, and the first thing I told her when we first started to commune, she said, "I'm not a doctor." I said, "Check this out, sis. You may as well get used to it because you're the doctor we know and you're never going to get away from that title. So it's Dr. Roz, whether you like it or not."
Yeah, it's your handle. I threw that at her in the beginning. She told me that the first conversation. I called her Dr. Roz.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Well, I'm not a doctor." I said, "That's a moot point. This is your new handle, my friend."
Absolutely.
Dr. Roz is just fits for you. And I'm going to start calling you Dr. Roz no matter what.
That's who she is. And that's who she is to us.
Yeah, who she is.
And
I'd go to her.
I'd go to her, which I have, times that I haven't been feeling well. And I'd go to her before any doctor in this world. So we are evolving together, learning to walk in the highest idea of ourselves, because we come from some challenges in our self-esteem as we continue to evolve, and we support each other. And if you're my brother or my sister, which all of you are, it is my duty and my obligation to be my highest self, not only in front of you, but with you every day, and to be that support for all when we're at our low points, when we get on each other's nerves, which we're going to do at times, because we are not all alike, nor should we be. Learning how to commune together in those places that are uncomfortable at times. And I know we have done a phenomenal job. At the end of the first symposium, I said, one thing I knew this year, that the piss drinker would go through stuff. That this year would be a stuff for those that drink the water, not just to give instructions to those that don't drink. But I'm talking about us as a community. that we are going to be recipients of what the water actually does. Beyond all of our talk, we are going to be recipient of the effects of the water. And we know that that's predominantly to break up those calcified places where we have been institutionalized, and more than anything, get acquainted with who we are. And in doing so, we are going to confront a lot of the institutionalized ideas that we have been impressed upon, that have been impressed upon us, which requires depression. There is a depressed state for the water drinker. And the only bad thing about depression is the idea that we should not be. It is very much necessary for us to be able to endure those challenging places and do it together. And I think that, I know that we have done a phenomenal job of enduring some challenges throughout the year. And I am so proud of our community, all of us. For those with relationship issues, because you've been down that road, and those are the tender spots for us. Those are the places where we feel those feelings like rejection and abandoned, betrayed, belittled, powerless, sometimes worthless, sometimes useless, and those are the spaces that we've been on the run from our whole life, because we've been taught that we're supposed to get up, be smiling. That's not always the ride and not always the requirement. Sometimes depression is important to us, and it does those things that impressions just don't do. It'll send you to a place where you get to be alone, the place we fear the most, the place where you don't know what to do, so we're not busy. Everybody wants a busyness. I want my own busyness. We call them business. It's busyness. Always in avoidance, always in a seeking mode. There is a place in the still, in the dark, in the quiet that will scare the shit out of you that is so necessary. And I promise you, if you drink this water, you can count on it. But when you look around, there'll be somebody that's beyond a friend, somebody that knows, somebody like a brother Casey, like a sister Roz, like sister Danielle, like brother Tony Hill, like brother Timothy Wells, and sister Linda, sister Cindy, brother Ali, brother Yusef, sister Tanya. We can go down the list of people that when you are going through, they're the light of the world, and you can ride the wave with them. They got a surfboard for you, man. Our community is something special, brother Casey. Something special.
Indeed it is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, okay? Stuck on a stump at the moment, but that is temporary. But, I couldn't be in a more pristine spot to be stuck on a stump. And like, it's a half a mile downhill. I mean, a steep hill to get down to the cabin.
Yeah.
Where Nancy is and all that stuff. And it's just glorious. Everywhere I go, there I am. And this is, people go, where do you live? And I don't know if you ever heard of the Tubes. They were big in San Francisco and had a lot of notoriety back in the 70s and 80s. But they had a song, a title, and it was, "My head is my only house when it rains." And when I first heard that line, it resonated to me, because it is a very nomadic gypsy kind of mindset. No matter where you go, there you are. It doesn't matter where you are, it's where you're at. And you choose where you're at. So I always choose to see beauty and paradise and wonder and marvel and all that, regardless of all my shortcomings and the shit that appears. Shit happens. Everybody's got to deal with shit. And I deal with my own shit, lots of it. Nobody goons me better than me, and I'm okay with that. It's just part of the life process. But I always look for the sunny side of the street, just because why not? The flower grows if you see it. The birds appear if you listen. You know, life is just beautiful if you allow it. And no matter all of our trauma, our trouble, our discourse, our, concerns, and all the problems, it's moot. It's all small stuff when you really get down to it. Most of it means little, if nothing,
Yeah.
essentially, to our goodness. And so I entertain it. Why fuck around in that park? It just seems like a junkie park. It's a tough one to get out of, man. So, yeah, and the P has given me the resolve. There's no doubt in my mind. There is no other answer. It wasn't because I was vegan or fruiting or fasting or this, that. It was the P. It is the P. It's about the P. That's where the difference lies with me. And I can validate that in every way, shape, or form.
I agree.
Made all the difference in my life.
I agree, brother.
It's the most important thing that I ever learned in my life, brother.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I've learned a lot of shit,
Yeah.
okay? But it is the most important thing I ever learned.
It makes everything else so small. And you awaken to it, because it doesn't come through this part. It doesn't need your mind to participate in what it wants to show you. It's really being possessed by the spirit of your authentic self beyond thought, including race, government, again, you said it, places. I had an experience when I was out of the country. I was in Jamaica, I think it was last week, and there was I'd been traveling all night. I had some layovers. I got situated. I got to the place where I was staying, and I fell asleep. When I woke up, it was approximately 1 o'clock in the morning, according to this thing we know as time. And it was dark. And in that moment, I didn't know where I was. And I'm sure that's happened to you before. I didn't know where I was. And it might have been 30 seconds, it might have been 15 seconds, but it seemed like an hour. And my innate movement was to reach for the light switch according to where it is in my house, in my room where I sleep every day. And I'm going the direction where my wall is, and there is no wall. It's pitch black. I don't have a clue where I am. And for seemed like an eternity, my heart starts to race. I'm afraid. And I can hear my narrator, my ancestors, say to me, what's the worst thing that can happen to you right now? So calm. And I said to myself, I could die. And my narrator said, well, die with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
So my heart is racing. It didn't stop racing. And I just started to smile, still not knowing where I am at all or what is going on. And it seemed like this has taken forever. And I'm smiling, my heart is racing. And then I could hear my breaths. And then I could see them slowing down. And then this story started to come together. And I said, oh, listen to this. I got on a plane today in this realm of existence. And this is a place they call Jamaica. There's no such thing as Jamaica. This is just what these mortals call it. Oh, that's right, I'm in a cabin. This is what they call a cabin. So the way that this realm of life was handed back to me was that it's the furthest thing from anything real. It's just what we call it. It's what we're doing. It's nothing to invest in. It's only to
It's a perception.
man, when I tell you it gave my manifestation here in this realm the ultimate purpose. It was the only thing relevant is that I am present here to be the gift and the light to all those that embrace me in this thing they call time and places and work and striving and success and prosperity and all of these illusions that the mortals have been conditioned to seek and look for. The only thing that we know we're going to do for certain is to step out of these meat suits one day into the weightless condition. And at that point, we'll remember, damn it, I was supposed to drink the water.
Yes.
If you want to move on, because to me, it's not about who we are here. It's who you are when you leave. When you leave here, you got to have a key to move on. And the key is your identity. You have to know yourself to know where you're going, because you're only going to a place called you. And if you
Yes.
don't know who you are, then there's no other definition for the word lost. So when you
Yes.
hear a lost
Exactly.
soul, it's the soul that left here that didn't have his ID and can't move on. And now you need to re-manifest until you remember, next time, drink the water, which is the key to the kingdom. Drink up,
Yeah.
gang. You dig, brother?
Word. Hallelujah, brother. Yeah, tell it like it is. It's so true, though. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I mean, it's just so fucking true. It's just uncanny, you know? I mean, and I like to animate about it. To me, I like to keep a sense of humor about myself
Yeah.
because I know it's ridiculous and I am. So, what the fuck, So anybody who wants to learn,
Oh my
fine.
God.
But you better get prepared to learn on your own.
Yeah.
'Cause I ain't going to teach you shit. I'm going to tell you what I do.
Yeah.
You tell me what you do. That's what we'll do. What do you think about that? And I know you maintain the same presence in that attitude because I can't teach you anything. I can't tell you anything. You're either going to do it or you aren't going to do it. It's not up to me. It's up to you. I already made my choice. I do it. I drink my pee. I lavish in it. I bathe in it. I drink that shit. I love this shit.
Hey,
Feels good to me.
Brother Casey, give me another one of them hallelujahs, man.
Hallelujah, brother. Tell it, tell it, tell it. Come on, brother. Preach to me. Tell me how it is.
Oh man, you are absolute nut.
Peas. Yeah, now there's a great parody that Weird Al could do with James Brown, and instead of please, or please, peas,
Peace.
and do a whole parody on peas,
Yeah,
right?
man.
With all that, like just working that JB shit, right?
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this has been fun. I love hanging out with you, bro. Always do. I really love you. It's been a real fun day.
I love you too, brother. And I look forward
Yeah,
to
man.
seeing you. Look forward to seeing you in September.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, Water of Life Symposium.com. Go to the website, check it out. All the info's on there. Look forward to seeing as many of you as can make it in September. I know I speak for Brother Casey when I tell you there is no greater place to be on those dates.
Yeah, it's a place to be,
I look
man.
forward to
It's a place
seeing
to be in the third
all.
weekend of September.
Yeah, man. I love you, brother.
We're gonna party in the desert.
All right. Keep those.
Pea party in the desert.
Yeah. Keep those
Keep your
peace
piece
signs
together,
together.
bro.
All right. I love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thanks for your time today.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon.
All love, bro.
All right.
Yeah.